Are you trying to figure out how to get things done? Are you trying to look for knowledge that can actually help you do something, be better at what you do? Hi, I'm Joyce Mbaya, founder of Zydii, where we provide affordable online courses for Africa. This is the place for you, the Zydii podcast, where we have inspiring conversations with amazing people. And the ultimate goal is to help you know more so you can do more.
Hi, our esteemed listeners. Welcome to yet another episode of the Know More, Do More podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Kabingu. And today we are joined by, I don't know the words to describe the new guest. And the thing I can say is, if you're a business person, if you've been struggling with social media and all those things, driving traffic, today will be the day. You know those days you remember? This is me before and after. Today is that day. And we are joined by a very knowledgeable, I'd say talented in these fields of social media marketing and digital marketing. I'll let her introduce herself. And karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for having me today. My name is Victoria Kimani. And basically, I am in the digital marketing space. I run a digital marketing agency known as Wilde Digital. But other than the usual digital marketing, we also offer training and empowerment programs for small business owners, mostly in and around marketing, but we're also venturing out into other areas and topics. And at the same time, we also run a very vibrant WhatsApp community, which is free to join, where we share tips, not just on marketing, but on everything you need to know about being a business owner. We support each other. We have Q&As with experts. We have monthly webinars. So we basically just try to make sure that as a small business owner, you don't feel alone in this journey, and that you feel supported, and that you feel that you have a place where you can also share the struggles that you're facing and we see how we can be able to assist you.
Great. And how did you get started in all this digital marketing? A brief history on you.
So my journey starts back in 2014. I think back then social media wasn't as big as it is now. And I basically just started, it was by chance, to be honest, because it started from being an intern in a small microfinance. Now they're big, but back then they were small. And as an intern, I was working in a microfinance where everyone had a degree in finance, and I'm the only one who had a degree in communication and marketing. So they were like, what can you do for us? And I was like, I'll start your social media pages and I'll help you market yourself and I'll help you get to where you want to be. And they said, yeah, because I think they really didn't even understand what I was going to do, but they were just happy to have someone on board. And that's exactly what I did. So I opened for them their Facebook, their Instagram. And then from there, I went into a different company 3 months later after my internship and did the same. And then I quit my job. And from there, I started doing freelance. So freelance basically meant like for 1 year, no one was paying me for what I was doing. So I was doing it for my friends for free. Friends who had businesses and they wanted to be marketed. And back then, like even having a Facebook page was not as popular as it is now. So it was something very new to many people. And I did that for like a year. Then I got my first paying client in 2016, who is a very amazing friend of mine now. And from there just morphed. In that time I have been in and out of employment, but mostly they've all been like digital marketing roles, community manager roles with various organizations and various brands who have built me up to where I am today. So the company started in 2017 in terms of registration. So I was doing it as a side hustle until in 2020 when I decided that I wanted to focus on it fully and I wasn't going to go back. And yeah, so it's been a journey, but it's been a very fulfilling and a very wonderful journey. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And maybe to ask what are the, as you said, a lot of people didn't have like these social media pages, a lot of this wasn't popular. So what have you seen evolve as social media has been evolving, as businesses have started taking up more active roles in marketing themselves on social media? How has the landscape been changing? What have you seen?
So I honestly think, so over time, of course, people started to realize that if you wanted to start a business, before all this social media stuff, most of the marketing was very traditional. So we had a lot of traditional media where it was either you're on a newspaper, or if you have the budget, you're on a billboard, or you're on a banner by the side of the road, you know what I mean? But after, as we have continued to evolve, and also COVID had a very huge role to play, I believe, in many people realizing that, first of all, remember during COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs, which automatically transformed them into small business owners. And then you realize that you now need to start showcasing your product. You now need to have a market, that you can reach out to. And so social media has slowly evolved into the go-to place. Like if someone starts a business today, the first thing they think, I need a Facebook page, I need to be on Instagram, I need to be on TikTok. So it has really evolved and changed over time from being just a by the way to being a basic need for any business.
Interesting. So, and a lot of companies, I think, is it what kind of questions do they ask you when they're coming to you for the first time because you have this experience? What are there maybe the mistakes, I'll ask in that way, the mistakes they make or the questions that you're normally most asked by these companies when they come to you?
I think, so in terms of the questions is, a lot of people think that social media is like microwave, where you get your results in 2 minutes. So you'll find a lot of people are very worried about, when will I start seeing sales? When will I start to see the return on investment? But really the truth of the matter is it's a journey and it's a process. So first we have to start by building your awareness as a company. So where an awareness takes time, and awareness honestly really never stops. And then from when we have built your awareness, we can now start looking at, are you able to generate leads, and are those leads able to generate sales? So you find that one of the biggest mistakes that small business owners make is thinking that it's a one-day thing. And also the other mistake they make is they underestimate the amount of work that goes into building great social media. And a huge part of that is building content. So you'll find that a lot of people are not willing to invest in content creation, and content really is the one thing that differentiates different pages. It's the reason why you like page X and not page X, yet they sell the same exact thing. It is content. So content is everything.
Yeah, content is everything. And so there's something you also haven't touched on, because you also said off the podcast, you had told us that you do trainings. And
yes.
How did you come about the training bit of training companies?
So for the training bit, what happened was during COVID, and of course, when COVID hit like this in March of 2020, consultants are usually the first to get cut off, especially when guys realize, because I think initially guys were like, COVID is gonna be like a 2-week thing, and then we're just going to go back. And then, the country was closed down. You couldn't get out. You couldn't come in, even from county to county. And so, of course, businesses panicked and business owners panicked. So when they panicked, the first people that they cut off from their budgets are not their employees, are consultants. And we are consultants. So we were the first people to be told, hey, we think right now we just can't be able to afford you. We're not sure what is going to happen. So can we just, pause on this contract or pause on this project? So I think we were left with like 2 clients, and it was an interesting and a difficult time. But also the funny thing that happened is just before that period, I met a very amazing human. His name is Aaron Mashano. He's a business coach. He's Zambian. And I had gone for one of his workshops and trainings. And after that, we connected online, and I realized that he had a facilitation program that he was running. And he was like, yo, do you want to join this? And I was like, it's not like I'm doing anything, like literally. So I joined the facilitation program, became an accredited facilitator and trainer through Stats Results Coaching, with like different people in different countries. It was a very fun program because you have like people from Kenya, from Australia, from Asia, from America. So it was really nice, and like we created this like small family bond across, and it was COVID time, so we could all share our experiences from different continents. And so when I graduated from that program, I had this idea where I was like, you know what, people are home. They have a lot of time on their hands and they don't know what to do. So this is a great opportunity for me to start teaching people how to operate and manage their own social media. So I built this product called our private coaching sessions, which is how we have ended up in this conversation with Zydii. So I built a program, a 2 to 3 hour coaching session. It's one-on-one. It was very cost friendly and still is. And it was just like, so let me teach you how you can manage your own social media, because if you can't afford a social media manager, it doesn't mean that you can't do it on your own. And that's how the training started and the coaching started. And then from there, when the restrictions started to reduce and we could move around, we could gather from time to time, we started running workshops, and then our workshops were full. And I can tell you, so we had tried doing a workshop before COVID, like March 4th, and they were announcing COVID restrictions on like March 10th, and that workshop had nobody. And then so I was very like apprehensive, like 2 years later doing another workshop. And I was like, you know what, fine, let me do it. So I did it, and we were like sold out. Like we were looking for space, because I had taken a small space, because in my head I was like, I don't want to take
last time we didn't have a lot of people.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, I don't want to like take a small space and then no one shows up. Take a big space, sorry, and then no one shows up. So I took a small space, and we were sold out. Like we were looking. I literally kept telling guys, like, if one more person shows up to this workshop, I don't know where we're going to put them. So we did it our first workshop, which was amazing. Like people showed up and they loved it. Then we did our second workshop, and guys showed up and they loved it. And then we started getting interest, like from other companies that wanted us to run their workshops, and it just like quickly morphed into this very huge thing. And then from there, the people so we had like the same people coming for the workshop, and they were like, you know what, I think I want to like connect with you guys beyond just workshops. So how about you create for us a community? And I remember when the person asked that as a question, I was like, I don't know. That sounds like it takes resources and time. But then I like slept on it, and I just started this WhatsApp community, and I was like, I don't know if anyone is going to join. I know the church admins are going to join, but I don't know now. And so we created the WhatsApp group, and then guys actually started joining, and I was like, 10 people, 20, 30. And I was only like pushing it on my Instagram stories. Like I wasn't even sure. I didn't put it on feed just in case it fails. We can delete the stories after 24 hours. And guys really just started joining the community. And now the community has almost 250 members, and it grows every day.
250?
Yeah. Small business owners, and we have a community manager. So like I said, our resource had to go into it. So so we have a community manager, and her main job is just to monitor growth, get people to register, also help us look for opportunities, and it's really bringing a lot of great opportunities our way. So our training morphed very organically. It's been a very organic growth, and more people led than us led.
I love that. I love that idea of it's the community that help you just facilitate the community to help each other. People in the same fields probably are more likely to catch the same kind of problems that maybe you need to see. I like that. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
So this started during COVID. And then as you're doing the training is when you thought of Zydii, and probably I'd ask, is it a question from the audience that got you thinking about doing an online course, or it was because of COVID and how things were going on during COVID, you decided to have an online course?
So my journey with Zydii is very interesting. So I've known Zydii and Joyce for I think since 2019 or 2018. Probably 2018, 2019 there. And so we've always had back and forth conversations with Joyce about different things and wanting to do different things. And none of them have ever really materialized until when we started going oh, by the way, I think I can do. So after doing my coaching sessions and gaining a bit of confidence, I reached out to her. And I was like, hey, I think I have a program here that I think can easily be turned into an online course. And the reason for that was the private coaching sessions ideally depend on my availability and the availability of the person, right? But when you have an online course, it becomes self-paced learning where the person can take as much time as they would like to learn and take the course, right? So it's no longer dependent on me being there and me being available, or also the person being there and being available. So because I knew the course was tried and tested, I was like, this is definitely something I'd want to do and to have, so that regardless of whether I'm there or not, the course can still, be out there and people can learn from it. So it was a conversation that we had almost over, we're in 2022. I think we started talking about it last year. So it's been a year of conversation and just asking, and then, so I reached out and I was connected to one of your team members, and then I waited for my slot. And now here we are. Super excited, by the way, to just launch it.
Here we are. Just as we're recording the podcast, it's just about to release the course. So maybe depending on whatever time the person who's listening to this is listening to it, just check on Zydii. The course is probably up. Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. Yeah. So excited. You have no idea.
Yeah. So in terms of the course, what are the list? If someone is listening, they have a business, they're thinking about marketing, what are they most likely to get from this digital course?
So what they're most likely to achieve is, number one, they'll have the tools they require to be equipped to market and manage their own social media. Number two, they'll learn how to build their own social media strategy in a very simple way. Sometimes we complicate that process. Number three, they'll have a chance to learn things like how to deal with influencers, which is something that I don't think anyone is talking about, but influencers are now part of social media marketing. You can't ignore them. They'll learn how to create social media ads, just the principles that are required anytime you want to create an ad. And they'll basically, this is great. This course is great if you're a beginner and also if you're an intermediary. And also I've realized from my interactions, one-on-one coaching sessions, different people are at different levels. So if you feel like you already know how to run your social media, but there are certain things that you just need a bit of guidance through and a bit of steering through, this course is for you. And also someone who's very green, right? Someone who's you have a social media page, a Facebook page, and IG, and that's it. This course is also for you because we have practical tools like how to build a content calendar in a very simple way. Those small things that build the discipline for you to learn how to manage your social media.
Yeah, that's very true. I remember when we were recording the course and I was just sitting. Sometimes you think you know a lot about social media and marketing. I know most people think that, but when you're sitting listening to you teaching the course, I was like, wow, and it's like that. Kumbe it's like this. Kumbe this is where I'm getting 3 likes. This is where. Yeah, so it was an incredible course. If anyone is listening to it, I was part of the actual recording that was happening, and it's an amazing course. You're going to get so much out of it. As she said, I also can't wait to see the reaction after it comes out. It's so incredible, and just take it. And like she said, it's not a microwave. When you take the course, start adopting these things slowly into social media strategy, your marketing and all this, and you'll start seeing maybe results trickling. Sometimes they trickle in slowly, and maybe just like I like her story about when she started her physical sessions, and like the first one, the people didn't come, and then the second one was it even the second one?
Yeah, it was the second, but remember the second one was 2 years later. So one was
2 years later.
One one's post-COVID.
Yeah, but it's still a good metaphor for someone who's also starting something, even if it's doing this for their social media. You might get 2-3 likes, and maybe 1 or 2 people might check your page and all that. But eventually, it grows to something if you're consistent with it. So yeah, I like it's like a parallel of you and your business, and how you'll help people. So it's an amazing course. You guys should look into it. We'll share. I'll also put the links to the course when it's done on the description of this podcast. And so, Victoria, as you're closing, is there something you want to leave our listeners with, and how, if you want to listen, if there's nothing, how can they get in contact with you? If they want to do the live session, if they want to get into the WhatsApp group, how can they get in contact with you?
Okay, so something to leave the audience with. I think one thing that I've learned through this year is that fear is not an excuse to not do the things you want to do. A lot of times we're afraid, but we have to do it regardless of whether we're afraid or not. So fear is not an excuse. So that's the one thing that I'd like to leave the audience with. And in terms of reaching out, so if you go to our social media, so Wilde Digital KE on Instagram, you will find a link for when you go to the link tree on the bio. So you'll find a link on how you can join the WhatsApp group. You'll also find a link on how to register for a one-on-one private coaching session for free. So everything is within our Instagram. So just follow us on Instagram, Wilde Digital KE. So Wilde is with an E. So it's WILDE Digital, then KE. Yeah, then from there you can go to our Linktree bio and you'll be able to find everything that you need.
Yeah, thanks Victoria for joining us for this week's episode. And I hope the listeners, I want to hear stories after this. I did that course and you see my business 10x. I hope those are the testimonials we'll be getting after this. And also hoping success for you and your business, because it seems to be growing really rapidly. And, we will get to that point where we know the other Victoria Kimani. Now we'll be asking, Mgani, unauliza Mgani. Yeah, so we want to get to that point.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, and that's it. Thank you for listening to this week's episode, and catch you next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you so much.
This week's episode has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like and share, comment, get involved. Let us know what you think, what you want to learn next, and join us next time.